The podcast you are about to listen to is one of the many podcasts that is part of the College Huddle, the largest fan-led college sports podcast community on the internet. Fan-made, fan-driven, and fan-fueled. The College Huddle.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free!
Okay, next question.
I'm a horse football coach right now.
You know, it got shoved up, shoved it up. It got shoved, right?
Oh, baby, what a great weekend to be a Spartans fan. The Spartans are back in the winning circle, and the Spartan Savants are back on the air. I am, of course, joined by Nikki and Travi for episode 39 of the Spartan Savants podcast to talk about a great victory against the Iowa Hawkeyes on this past Saturday. Nikki, how are we feeling, baby?
Man, you know, I was just thinking to myself, it's nice to remember how it feels like to have a coaching staff. To just have a coach who spends the bye week thinking about how we can beat his opponent as opposed to how we can get his cannoli iced. Heyo. Yeah, but man, I mean, with Michigan State just sneaky dominant win over Iowa, and the Lions just gutsy win over Minnesota, and a couple other fun things that happened along the way. Maybe with a certain enemy this week, just can't complain. Sky's blue.
That's right. The sky is blue. The Spartans are winning. The enemy is losing. Travi, what do you got?
Yeah, man, it just all feels good. Everything is fantastic when the Spartans win, and that's all we need right now. And that was the biggest win of the season so far.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't tell, I have just been smiling ear to ear since it happened. I mean, Nikki, I think you said it like such a great job from the coaching staff. I mean, you could tell this team was prepared to play football against the Iowa Hawkeyes Saturday night. The first half, Iowa could do absolutely nothing on offense. Our defense absolutely came to play. That was a great game plan from the coaching staff. I mean, they shut down outside of the one big run. Caleb Johnson was not
23
yards.
At all. 23 yards.
Just totally
Standing.
shut down. They made Caden McNamara throw the ball, who could not do anything either. I mean, first of all, can we talk about how big of a loser he is?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is losing on the road, and he's tripping at our fans. He's losing. And the two times he's played at Spartan Stadium, he's done absolutely nothing. He's accomplished zero against Michigan State in his lifetime, and he's out here chirping our fans while he's losing the football game. I mean, this guy sucks. What a loser. A life loser. He's done nothing.
He knows he's really good at throwing to Chuck Brantley. And is it Nikai Martinez with the interception?
Yep. That was just nice. The interception was a nice cherry on top of everything, I thought.
I did like his new half. Like, hey, you guys are not winning.
Yeah, I felt really good about the game the entire time. I mean, we all predicted they'd win on the show, but I really felt like I was not worried at all. And we all texted each other before the game that we felt pretty good about Spartans winning. So good to see him come through for us. Aiden Childs, probably best game to date. I thought he was in full control of the offense. The one interception didn't kill us. Came at an all right time. Obviously, no interception is great, but I thought he had full control of the offense. Looked, kept the ball in our possession when we were in the red zone. We kicked a lot of field goals, but we talked about that last show that the field goals will be all right in this game. It's not like we're playing Iowa or Oregon or Ohio State. So, Childs, I really was very impressed with the way he played.
I agree. Look, we got to deal with the fact that he's a gunslinger. He's going to throw interceptions. Like, I saw someone online say something like, yeah, like Aiden has 3 interceptions left before he gets benched. That was before this game, obviously. And it's like, okay, that's just not like, there isn't just an arbitrary number of like interceptions you can have in the season. before you get
Made that
on.
up?
Like,
Yeah, right. I don't believe you.
but yeah, like obviously we got to finish in the red zone more. But
Mhm.
kind of Iowa's thing is holding people in the red zone.
Yeah.
You were saying too with Caleb Johnson. Hey Joel, hey Tori. I thought that guy was supposed to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did have that one explosive run. I'll give him that. He's
Well,
good
yeah.
for 7 points a game. But
Yep.
to beat the Spartans, you got to do a little better. Our offensive line, where's that? I didn't even know we had one of those.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, that's the best game they've played in years.
Oh my gosh.
Incredible, especially against the Iowa defense.
Yeah.
It's one of the most physical teams in the Big Ten. One of the best D lines in the Big Ten year in year out. We've been waiting for that kind of domination against just like a freaking Central Michigan. And
Right.
now Iowa of all games is when they show up. It's fantastic.
Yeah, out of nowhere. They did make some changes. I saw that they moved. Was it Baldwin? They moved him from left tackle to right guard.
Yeah, I think they had moved him inside a couple weeks ago, but they switched sides this time. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they were talking about the broadcast. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure when you made that change. Also, shout out to our friend Matt Sheehan, who got a shout out on the broadcast. Nice to see the Lockdown Spartans getting some attention there. But man, yeah, I just thought, the whole game really impressive. I thought the receivers played great too. I mean, Childs, I thought really did a good job of getting them into some good play calls. Nick Marsh is the real deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that spin move he made when they just threw him like that screen pass, he sent that guy to the moon. That guy was into next week. I mean, this guy is the real deal. I'm just so impressed by what he's done as a true freshman.
Yeah, we don't talk about how good he is enough, and I apologize for that.
It's probably because it's so obvious, but
right.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. It's
my boy
really,
Foster.
That was the best game by far.
Yep.
By far.
Yep. Yeah, it was also Childs, not to keep talking about Aiden Childs, when he runs, he is such an effective runner, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can really, he's very hard to tackle. I feel like, we talk about it all the time. They got to just let him run more. I mean, obviously not to the point where he's taking hits all the time, but
yeah,
he is hard to stop. He is really, really a talented player and very effective in the run game.
Yeah. Speaking of the run game, they did a pretty decent day. I have a stat that Nate Carter probably doesn't want us to say, but he had 49 rushes and he had his first touchdown against a Power 4 opponent in a Spartan uniform.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah. Again, I don't think he wanted us to know that. But
wow, I didn't realize that. Well, good for him. Congrats.
Yeah, first of many. I really hope. K'Ron Lynch Adams too ran angry, 89 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Just with the freshmen, we had Frazier and Tulis have a couple of nice sneaks in there.
I saw they spread the ball around a little bit. Yeah, both came in and did a job too. 9 yards for Tulis. Kai Frazier picked up 4 yards. I mean, nice to see. I mean, it's good when you can spread the ball around. Yeah, Marsh 113 receiving, Foster 100 receiving. That's like, I feel like that's going to take us places if we can have those kind of days from our receivers.
Yeah, I saw a stat. I cannot find it, but it was it was the 8 top freshman receivers, and Nick Marsh is like comparable stats to Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. One half notch below. He's also played one less game. Like, he is legit. I can't believe we got him.
That's really great company to be in. I mean, that's really impressive, and he is a serious player. Some of the plays that he has made have just been. But I feel like we haven't had a receiver like that in what feels like ages. Like, I know it's only really been like 2 years, but like,
Oh, hey, literally,
that feels like a long time ago. Yeah, that feels like so long ago. Like Keon Coleman even feels like it was a long time ago.
I mean, Nick Marsh is doing better than Keon ever did at Michigan State, and Keon was good. But
Yeah,
Marsh is just. I mean, he's less than 100 yards from the freshman record.
right. Yeah, yeah. When you think about that too, like think about Keon as a freshman would get like one play a game, maybe a target every now and then. Like this Marsh is just like in a different world almost.
I saw so I don't know if you've seen these pictures. Every week they have like a how did we really get beat that bad net success rate chart. So we've been not great in that chart a lot of weeks. But we were the 4th most dominant team this week. Only below Indiana, which that is
Whoa.
yeah. SMU over Stanford and Wisconsin over Northwestern. I mean, if we finished even 2 of those touchdowns, which one of them was an absurd PI call, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get one of those, you could consider that a blowout almost. Like the scoreboard doesn't reflect that we really dominated.
Yeah, I really agree. I mean, the scoreboard shows one thing. They scored a touchdown late. Well, they scored a couple touchdowns late, actually. But, I mean, the first half, they could not move the ball. They couldn't. They went 3 and out basically the entire first half. Their offense was non-existent. That's tip of the cap to the defense and the game plan, because that allowed us to, take control of the game from the get-go.
Joe Rossi, what we say it every week. What a hire! Gotta keep that guy.
Yeah, you gotta absolutely.
Man, this offseason is going to be. I mean, it's like it's either you're stressed out that you're going to lose your guys because they were good, or your guys were bad. So pick your pick.
Right. You get one poison or the other. That's true. Oh my gosh. Anything else that you thought stood out that caught your eye in that one?
I mean, Jonathan Kim, it's got to be our best pick. He might be our best picker ever, honestly.
Yeah, very, very impressive. He was money.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
We're so cool.
Winning is so much better than losing.
Like that was a more dominant win than like half the canine wins.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the defense was actually like a big part of that win.
Yeah. We played a complete game. We didn't just have like 2 really good players.
Yeah. All 3 sides of the ball, special teams, defense, offense, dominant. Great. Thought the crowd was great. Obviously, homecoming. I wouldn't expect anything different.
We had some recruits there, and they all had an amazing time. Apparently,
good.
Some guys said there was one quote that I saw that was insane. It was like an entire breakdown of the game, and I was like, "Okay, what? Like, how did you like?" I think like the number 1 JUCO commit was there, and he said, "We're now leading."
Oh, nice.
Really nice. I don't know how much JUCO really matters anymore with the transfer portal, but again, if someone's number 1 in something, I tend to like it when they're doing well. I'm trying to see if I can find this. It's this absurd quote. like how did you even I can't find it. So it was George Mullins, current. Oh, okay. No, it was this guy. Braylon Collier said the entire visit was amazing, like always. And my overall thoughts on the game are that Nick Marsh had a huge night in the receiving game, as well as Montori Foster, scoring that big touchdown to extend the lead in the third quarter. I thought the run game was consistent all night. The defense looked pretty good all year. And last night they were able to keep the train rolling and do what they do. I thought there were multiple occasions where MSU could have executed in the red zone, but Coach Smith already made a big emphasis of being able to finish in the red zone. And I'm sure that'll be something they'll continue to rep and practice a whole lot. Jonathan Kim had a great night as well with his friend. Overall, I thought MSU played a complete game, looked very good coming out of the bye week. I am excited to see the strides they continue to make, and I can't wait to be repping the green and white. Hey, how did you come up with all that in like a half hour after the game?
It sounds like he's trying out for a job on like college game day post-game analysis.
Hey, you're 16 years old. Just say that was pretty cool.
That's funny. Oh, I thought was funny too was, and this is in no way calling out Joel or Tori, but in a way it might be a little bit, but it's really not. But because I heard it all week, I heard the guy on from Iowa that went on Graham Couch's podcast. He said it too, that like, I hate to tell you, but a lot of Iowa's strengths line up perfectly with Michigan State's weaknesses. And like, I had to stop and pause because I'm like, well, I don't really see it like that because Michigan State's been good at stopping the run all year. Iowa's strength is the running game. So that doesn't align. Michigan State's been fairly good at stopping the pass as well, outside of 2 games. And Iowa has a terrible passing game. So I really wasn't sure where people were drawing these conclusions, maybe on their defense versus our offense kind of thing. But, maybe the Child's turnovers was something that they were citing. But, it certainly didn't come to play in this game. I thought Michigan State really there really was never a point where I was too concerned. Like, I feel like Michigan State really had control of the game for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, Iowa definitely fought back. Like, it was a 5-point game throughout in the fourth quarter. But, I mean, we just kept responding. Like,
yeah,
we just kept getting back up and punching. It was a beautiful thing to see.
It was. Like, they scored their first touchdown, and then you text us pretty much like right away. We're like, okay, time to answer. And we marched right down and scored a touchdown again. And that was when I knew, like, okay, they're not going to lose. Like, this team is on a mission to get this job done today. And it was very nice to see.
It's so awesome.
It
like,
is.
the Lions win was awesome, but something about this win was just like I mean, that Lions win was fucking huge.
That was really cool.
Something about this win was just like, it was like renewed. Like, it was beautiful. It was truly a beautiful night for college football.
It was. And that's what we talked about too, is like, if you win this game, that's going to lift the fan base back up, and you're going to put the win back in the sails. Like, they really needed to win this game, and we knew it was a must-win game. And it's like you said, Bogo. I have to feel very confident heading into this week against a team that is very good and is a very formidable opponent that will give us problems.
Yes. What if we just beat the crap out of them? Like, what if we just laid the hammer? That'd be so
that would be
that probably won't happen. They're really good. So
they are. They're very good. That would be so satisfying, though. I mean, it's been a while since we've done that. Trav, welcome back. Obviously,
I have no idea what was said. Yeah, I have no idea what was said. So, Spectrum Dallas needs to get its shit figured out. I've been dealing with this for a week. Way to make a happy moment unhappy. God damn.
Spectrum Dallas better be on the lookout.
I have no idea. I have no idea what's been said this entire episode, so I don't know how much help I can be here.
Well, time for an ad read from Spectrum.
Yeah. Well, Trev, I guess we'll let you. Do you have any more thoughts? Do you have any thoughts? Anything that caught your eye? It's okay. We might have already talked about it, but give us your thoughts on the game overall.
Yeah, I thought it was the most complete game we've played in a long time. There were improvements everywhere. Well, we mentioned the offensive line. That's the one thing that I caught so far. And then the passing game was exponentially better than it has been all year. I know Childs threw that interception, but it wasn't as bad as some of the other interceptions that he's thrown so far this year. And, the protection and everything was great. The defense, we talked about it a little bit, bounced back right those terrible games and looked exactly like what we had hoped for. I mean, but you mentioned Johnson's run. Outside of that run, he had 23 yards in the entire game on 13 carries. That's like 1.7 yards per carry. That's for a guy that had 12 rushing touchdowns coming into the game. And I don't even remember how many yards he had. That's outstanding for the defense. And it was just all over the board. And then obviously Jonathan Kim. Only concern is I would like a few more touchdowns in there. You know, that's been a concern this entire time. But, you know, as long as you're getting points, especially against Iowa, we talked about it in the preview. That's a game that field goals can win for you.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it did.
Take field goals over turnovers for sure in the red zone. But when your defense is playing that good, that you'll take the 3 points. But you're right. I do think if this team was going to look at this game and say, hey, there's one thing we got to get a lot better at, that's converting in the red zone. I mean, and Nick mentioned Iowa's defense, obviously their strength. So it's, it is what it is, but you definitely want to be better when you're in the red area.
When you could put up 30 against Iowa, it's a pretty damn good game.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
32.
Yeah.
We left some serious points on the board. Like
we did.
That could have been. I mean, we got to the red zone 5 times because it was 12-0 and we missed one. It could have been. I mean, if we got just 2 of those touchdowns in, that's like 23-0.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the first quarter, or the first half. I mean, we were like, damn, we could be up by a lot more right now. But the way the defense is playing, it felt like we were still very much in control.
So cool.
It's just definitely, it's like a renewed sense of hope. I feel like, the schedule coming up is not easy. I mean, Indiana beating Nebraska the way they did was eye-opening. I really thought that was going to be differently. That was going to go differently for the Hoosiers, but it did. It did not. They really took care of business.
Their QB got hurt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I kind of want to, obviously, we have root for injuries, obviously. Like, even if we did root for injuries, that's an unreasonable thing to say, but I would kind of want to play Indiana full strength. I want Curtis Rourke to play against us because if we beat them, that would be so awesome. I would love to be the boss of the year. Yeah, I would really like to beat them. That would make me feel good. I mean, I want to beat everybody on the schedule, but after Michigan, they would be the next one that I would want to take care of. I mean, it's a trophy game, so obviously that one means a little more. I hate it when they have that one. Really annoys me when they have the trophy.
I know they should never have it. Honestly,
yeah,
really.
I mean, it is like we're getting ahead of ourselves, but the record is insane. Like,
yeah.
Let's see. I think it's like. Nope, that's not correct. Okay. Oh, with 51-16.
Oh wow.
We tend to beat them.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can continue that this year. Obviously a big one coming up this week. We're gonna save the Michigan talk for the Michigan podcast. I think there's so much to say. Don't want to take anything away from what we want to get into for that game.
Should we do game ball?
Yeah. Why don't you start us off?
I think there's only one person you can give the game ball to, and that's the guy who broke the school record for field goals, and that is Jonathan Kim.
Yeah, no question. I think that is a well-deserved game ball, and it's hard to argue there. Just for argument's sake, I will give the game ball to the defense. I know it's not one person, but they really just dominated the entire first half, and allowed the offense to get the field goals and really take control of the game. And I think that they did a nice job all year, and they really when the offense wasn't totally converting and getting touchdowns and just kicking field goals. The defense just absolutely stepped up in very much the manner they needed to, and really just shut down that Iowa offense completely. Trav, you're just in time. Nicky gave his game ball to Jonathan Kim. I gave my game ball to the defense.
Okay. That hold on. Those were a couple that I was thinking. I'm between two right now, so hold on. I gotta double check this real quick. And I think you know the two that I'm between. I'm gonna give it to Childs just because all the improvements that he made. He looked like a much more comfortable quarterback in that game and made a lot of plays, and it was just a lot of growth in that game. It was a big reason we were able to come out with the win. Obviously, honorable mention Nick Marsh, but yeah, I'll go with Childs.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it earlier, but that run that Charles had was so sweet.
It was. I mean, I'm really excited about what he brings to the table for the rest of the season.
I don't know if my internet crapped out before I said it, but I found myself hearing the Chris Berman whoop every time he made someone miss.
Yeah. Certainly, he's very hard to tackle. He does a very nice job eluding tackles. You guys have anything else there before we sign off here and start preparing for the Michigan episode?
Sleep fast.
That's right. Sleep fast.
Go to bed thinking about Michigan's downfall every day this week.
That's right. Wake up
every day of your life. Yeah.
Eat while you're eating, while you're sleeping. I would say for Spartan fans, do something every day this week to beat Michigan. Do one thing that will help us beat Michigan. And that's where I'll leave it.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll have lots to discuss, and for what I assume to be a very hate-filled episode, at least from me.
Yeah, I will try to fix my internet by then because this is absolute bullshit.
I
have a job, if I can call it that relies on the internet.
We'll get Spectrum on the line.
But
with that, go green. We'll talk to you guys on Wednesday.
Bye.